In this lecture, we would like to discuss about Plato, the disciple of Socrates and the founding father of the Greek written philosophy. As everyone in political science and in law, they are very much acquainted with the name of Plato. So, on this lecture, we would like to discuss Plato's conception of justice. So, the Republic of Plato is the crowning achievement of Plato's art and philosophy. His fame greatly rests upon this book, which is his masterpiece. And as we found, it deals with all the subjects under the sky, as it is an attempt at the complete philosophy of man. All the same, one can safely say that justice is the central theme of the Republic, round which all other subjects find their due places. The very subtitle of the Republic concerning justice indicates that its primary purpose is not the construction of an ideal state, but an inquiry into the nature and the location of justice. Having reviewed and rejected all the traditional theories prevailing in Greek, Plato gives his own views of justice through the mouth of Socrates. He attaches extraordinary importance to justice, as is obvious from the subtitle of the Republic, because he saw injustice the only remedy against the political and social ill of his beloved Athens. The ideal state of Plato is the visible embodiment of justice. The one is soul, the other is the body. The fair mind in a fair body. Plato's polity is a moral organism, and his theory of justice is a theory of ethical code by which it lives. According to Plato, justice resides in the state and is to be identified with complete virtue, which is composed of four elements such as wisdom, courage, temperance, such as self control, and justice. A state is called wise if the ruling class displays wisdom in the management of its affairs. It is known as brave if the military class displays courage both in peace and war. It would exhibit self control or temperance if the producing and military classes recognize the need of submitting to the control of the ruling class. In short, the ideal state will be temperate if there is harmony among the different groups or classes born of devotion to the same end in all. Platonic justice consists in the words of Professor Ernest Barker as the will to concentrate on one's own sphere of duty and not to meddle with the sphere of others, and its habitation therefore is in the heart of every citizen who does his duty in his appointed place. So, Platonic justice is the principle that each person should limit himself to the function for which he is best fitted by nature. Justice is the condition of every other virtue of the state and grows with specialization of functions and concentration on duty. The justice of the ideal state is the citizen's sense of duty. Plato's justice does not embody a conception of rights but of duties, though it is identical with true liberty. Justice is a quality, an indispensable quality of moral life. It is the true condition of the individual and of the state. The state is the reality of which justice is the idea. And so, according to Plato, just as the justice of the state depends upon each class and each individual in the state performing his duties properly, similarly, the justice of the individual demands that each of the three elements in the individual soul, for example, reason, spirit, and appetite, keep within their proper bounds. The characteristic of reason is its capacity to know and love, that of spirit to defy the enemies. The character of appetite is greed and selfishness, which lead to jealousy and conflicts. These qualities exist among the people in varying degrees. The society can be divided into three classes according to Plato. Those who have more of reason can be made fit to become the philosopher kings of the state or the philosopher rulers of the ideal state. Some have more of spirit which makes them courageous. They must be met the auxiliaries or the military guardians. The remaining are workers and artisans who possess appetite and are moved by selfishness. Reason is almost absent in the last class, partly present in the second class, and fully present in the first one. And that is the philosopher kings or the philosopher rulers of the ideal state. These three classes must perform their proper functions in the state, and selfishness should give place to devotion to the ideal state. If the justice is to be realized, or if the state is to be made an ideal one, then there would be no opposition or conflict between the interest of an individual and those of the society. For Plato, justice is the bond which unites men in states. To Plato, justice in the individual is identifiable with virtue or excellence. It is virtue as man human virtue and not mere functional virtue that makes him good. Justice is the relation to other excellency and is necessary for their perfection. It permits them, harmonizes them, and keeps them within proper bounds. Plato does not use the term justice in the juristic or legal sense as we do at present. It involves no reference to all the rights of individuals and to their maintenance through law courts. It has nothing to do with the preservation of law and order. For Plato, justice is a social virtue. It is a principle which governs the relations between groups to lead the society to attain goodness and thereby happiness. So, in short, we could sum up Plato's complete justice postulates an ideal state and is identifiable with it. Justice, like the ideal state, therefore demands division of society into three classes, representing the elements of reason, spirit, and appetite. One man, one work, on the basis of functional representation or functional specialization, a state regulated scheme of education, the rule of philosopher kings or philosopher rulers, and their emancipation from domestic and economic worries by a system of communism of property and of communism of wives or family, and emancipation of women and their equality with men, for which we consider Plato, as the first feminist also, as the first communist. So, Plato's conception of justice as in its the principle of a social scheme and social justice. It is based on the submergence of the individual in the society. It does not consider the notion of individual versus the state. It refers to the whole duty of man and not merely his legal duties. It is based on the division of society into various professional classes. In spite of this, there are many critics of Plato's conception of justice. So, his very notion of justice belongs to social morality, but not to legal morality, which we mean by the very English jurisprudence. So also he is criticized as it is based on self-control of the individual in the interest of the society. So it is conceived in moral and not in legal terms. It has no legal sanctions bound it, and yet it makes too much of a demand on the individual's devotion to state and society. So we found that in Plato a system of duties and not of rights of the individuals, and yet the two must always be correlated in a healthy society. Plato's concept of justice does not provide for clash of individual wills and conflict between one's interest with another. It envisages a dual uniformity and harmony of social life. Also, he found it is based on the conception of one man, one work, and leads to functional specialization. It ignores the evils of unfunctional specialization which does not sufficiently realize and properly provide for the whole of human personality. It stunts the growth of the individual and thereby improvises the society. It is based on the unwarranted assumption that a man is all appetite or all reason. It compels every individual to live on one third of his total self, either on reason or spirit or appetite. Also, Plato's justice gives a monopoly of political power to the philosopher ruler and makes too much of a demand on his position. He totally denied this power to mass of population. So this leads to an aristocracy of intellect based as it is on a system of communism of property and communism of wives or family. It ignores the essentials of human psychology. It demands too much on the devotion of an individual to his state and is therefore unrealizable. Plato pursues this conception to the extreme and denies an individual's right, which are the basis of his moral personality and moral action. And Plato's idea of justice is static. It assigns a man a particular position in life and condemns him to that position throughout his life. So, according to Professor Will Durant in his work, The Story of Philosophy, Plato is too anxious to have a moving picture of this world become a fixed and a still tableau. He laughs at her exclusively like any timid philosopher, as he has been frightened by the democratic turbulence of Athens into an extreme neglect of individual value. So it is too subjective and does not issue in an objective law for the guidance of the people. So also it is said that Plato has sacrificed the individual for the sake of efficiency, but one of the strong supporter of Plato, Professor C.L. Weber, in his work, Plato does not agree with this because, according to him, for Plato, the state is efficient because it is just. It is not just because it is efficient. Plato is also criticized that he equates power with virtue, but this criticism is also shady because Plato regards his philosopher guardians as saintly rulers. And Plato does not say anything about freedom. This is because Plato's ideal state simply provides life where individuals can lead a civilized existence. So, these are the very criticisms we can forward against Plato's conception of justice. And as in this lecture, we have dealt the very core concept of Plato's conception of justice in regards to build his ideal state that he portrayed in his republic. And as this very lecture aimed at to all the viewers to listen carefully and attentively the lecture, and specifically on Plato's conception of justice. So it is our request to listen attentively and carefully to this lecture on Plato's conception of justice.